Very close. Landon knows that they know where he is. Landon giving out that grenade fake out way late.
It's your man, Pooh Nanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And your cast man from LA who's having a great old day. I'm Sleepy.
Yes, it is Sleepy. We apologize for the audio quality that we're getting from Sleepy as we've gotten week over week. It's just Discord being a jerk, man. When we do a direct connection, Skype, literally anything else, it works perfectly fine. So Discord, get your act together. This match that we're going to get into first, though, is Mob Squad versus Ember. Ender. There you go. That's a new name. That's your new name, Ember. Change it. This wasn't casted, but the scoreline was surprising. Ember takes down Mob Squad in the final week of regular season. Suburbia is definitely still a sore spot for them, though, as Mob Squad takes them 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Ember played a really great game. They, as we know, they took 2 maps to take the series, and they took those 2 maps quite handedly. They took Bizarre Day 4-1, and then Cargo 4-2, with Mob Squad only being able to take that middle map 5-1, which is a pretty tough loss. But overall, great play from them. And, being a brother team of Blaze, we kind of expected them to eventually start getting the hang of things and start making their way up the ranks, as Blaze did a few seasons back and is still currently doing. But, I'm glad to see them starting to get more and more of those wins. And a win against a team like Mob Squad, who is a well-respected team in the league, it's pretty impressive. So kudos to them and GG's to both teams.
It's a good job. It was overall Ember ended up taking the series, right? 9-8.
Yes.
Very close match indeed. Really wish we had video from it to see how close it was. However, the individual maps appeared to be kind of blown out, so I'm not entirely sure what we got from that. But moving on, SMC faced off against Lobo, and Globo Chem, as usual, owned everything, so you don't have to. They played unbelievably strong until the victory is assured, posting up 4-0 and 4-1 in the first 2 maps. Take a look at these vids.
Yeah, and of course, the only video we really have currently from this one is the one that we saw at the top of the show. And as you saw, Landon, way late after the grenade, he's going to let out a farce cry, a farce to try and fool the defending team out into maybe coming out and taking a peek so he can get a shot. Now, while it didn't really work and most people heard him, he did in fact say that it did give him some valuable information as Otto was
someone laughed,
objective. Yeah, exactly. Otto apparently laughed on the objective. He wasn't aware that Otto was there, so it did give him some information, so that's good. But yeah, funny clip overall.
Yeah, man, if you can make the other guys laugh, that's a really good way to give away the position. So brilliant move. It worked out in his favor anyway. I kind of wonder sometimes if people like firing, if they just kind of mimic the clicking sound. They're like to make someone think they're reloading. But click, click, come on, you out? Yeah, Global Chem win the series 9-5. Moving on down the line, we have French Onward Union taking on the Beginners in another uncasted match. None of the casters, well, maybe Sleepy, could have predicted that Quarantine would be so close going to the Beginners 4-3, only to be outdone with a French Onward Union map victory of 4-3 going to them in Bazaar in the daytime. Absolutely insane stellar showing from the Union, and this came out of nowhere. Sure, they've been on the rise, but I had not imagined that they'd take on the King and make him bleed a little bit. I think the Challenger Cup and beyond is going to be a lot more interesting on the EU side.
I completely agree with this, and I mean, I begged Buxton. I'm like, Buxton, you're our only EU caster. This game happened, I think it was like middle of the week. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday at like 12 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm sitting at work and I'm like, Buxton, please cast this game, right? Because French Onward Union has been playing so well. They beat Boss Fight this season.
Yeah.
They've had a few really great games. They're very up and coming right now. I mean, those French guys putting in work. So I really wanted to see this one cast, but unfortunately, I just don't think
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed they got that close with beginners, though. Like, I couldn't have predicted
I wouldn't
that.
have
You were
either.
the one person that said, no, this is the game to watch.
I agree. I think this was probably one of the top 3 matches to watch this week, and unfortunately we couldn't get any coverage on it just due to the time constrictions. I mean, Buxton, while he is in the EU, he is a bit of a night owl. He does operate on more American hours, I'd say, than most British folks.
He's a resident
again,
American.
Yeah, he's our resident American British man.
Well, beginners win the series 11-8, very close, closer than they're used to. So we'll have to see how this plays out going in. If we're able to get the French Onward Union as the winners of their Challenger Cup and get them into the World Finals, the championships, which we actually don't have a lot of media to hype for this time around. So you just have to accept hype championships. Okay, it is done. Moving on to Cats and Hats facing off against the Idiots with Guns in a match the Cats could have been trying to schedule all season. It started out with the 2-point cap from those lovable fur balls, which I should mention came after some technical issues, which caused their reservists to drop before the round even got going. The first 2 maps were close, 3-4 scores on the first 2, but those kitties just couldn't get their claws in deep enough to get that last point.
All right, and in our first clip, we're going to see the Cats and Hats members watching their team member, Sir Lucian, who also, I believe, is a member and friend of the Hive community, the Hive VR community with Vivian that happens usually in Altspace. But anyways, his dead friends are going to end up watching him get this cap from the tent. The kill was so close that Trip wasn't even sure who got the point when it happened. But thankfully, after checking the scoreboard, he was able to see his teammate, in fact, was able to get the cap and does secure 2 points right off at the start of the map.
Yeah, ultimately, the Idiots with Guns, formerly known as We're a Team, wins the series 12-7. And that's really the only, kind of even partially usable clip that we had. But thanks for sending those in. Moving on, Blaze and Legionnaires give us a show and a lineup of some amazing clips. We've got nades, we've got bus drivers, and even more nades, and wild birds going on a rampage. So let's dive in.
Bus drivers, these Europeans and their shield play, I don't know what to say. A nice nade from Prefontaine to detonate the C4 on someone's chest. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. I love seeing this. It's so satisfying. And then it's going to lead to a nice round cleanup by Blaze. And there it is. I mean, Prefontaine just taking it in. Then we're going to see Noman counts to 3. But he's going to use the corpses of the Legionnaires in order to help him assist with his counting. Here we go. A little bit of smoke coming out from the Legionnaires here. Here comes a push. He's going to find 1. Now he's going to push up. He's going to find 2. And here comes 3. And he does get them all. And he does get Blaze the win on that round. Here we are on Snow Peak, and Blaze is going to make a pretty dirty 2-shielded push onto Snow Peak to take the round. This will be our play of the week, and a nice grenade in from Naoko gets DMT and El Vegas. There's 2 members of Legionnaires left to defend, and now it's a 2-shield push. Here comes another frag. It bounces. It gets nothing. And here we go. Things continue to heat up. We got a nice push off the side. I believe that's Mr. Miyagi there. Another flash, possibly. No, it's another grenade. And Eric or Zarek goes down from Legionnaires. Now it's just the last man left. He's got a pincher coming in from 2 members. Mr. Miyagi gets the C4 kill. Now he's taking up cover right near the objective. He doesn't know that Verds is right there. Here comes the shield. The frag comes out. He's too far. Verds gets the kill, and Mr. Miyagi actually kills his teammate with the grenade after the round. In our final clip from this game, the Bird goes on an absolute rampage here in the Northern Warehouse. And we're just going to see exactly how many he can take down here in this one clip. He's already picked up 1. There's 2. He's just a shooting mover right now. Oh, he's going to pick up another one through a nice little crack in that warehouse. And that's 3. Now it's all up. It's 1 more. Does he see him? I think he's just like strafing past these same openings, which typically would get you killed, but it was working for him. He's got 3 so far. Will he be able to get more? Will he be able to get more? Who knows? There's a res from Mr. Sirius. Is that what that says? I think that's what that says. But Vert's going to find another one. That's for El Vegas. He's actually going to technically get 5 there, but one of those will be a re-kill on a revive that was picked up during that time. But either way, a great play from Birds and from Blaze overall.
Yeah, Blaze ultimately takes the series 11-5. Well played, Blaze. Moving on to VRath and Dead Logic, who are next on the docket with a close match that had some eyebrows raised considering Logic's current rise and VRath's addition of Norse, formerly of the Vikings roster. They brought the entertainment, and Sleepy's got something to say about it.
That's right. Now, Dead Logic here, they're going to try and channel the spirit of the Legionnaires, and they are rewarded with a knife to the foot. And there you can see it. Yep, Neox just proned up against that building, sticking through the geometry, and unfortunately, they're going to take advantage of it and just stab him right in the leg. Ooh. Now, here we're going to see a great little play here. A tunnel on Snow Peak turns into a Vietnam flashback. I'm not quite exactly sure why it's a Vietnam flashback, especially from Buxton, who's younger than I am. But here's a wonderful grenade placed from the defense. It picks up one, and the other two manage to survive. But the close in from the enemy teammate, he just comes in from behind there, cleans up two, then picks up a third one. And man, just immediately it goes from like a 5v3 to a 5v2 or a 1v2 into Dead Logic's favor.
Wow, man. Quite a few trades right there.
In our next clip, we're going to see the curse of why you should never carry a lit Molotov on your chest, because there we go. We see it's already been shot. It's going off, and now he's just a roasting barbecue there on the ground. VRath able to get a great shot on the Dead Logic defender there and kill him with his own equipment.
He's on fire.
Beautiful.
Well played. Ultimately, Dead Logic take the series 10-7. Great plays all around. Good to see these guys stepping up. Good to see them picking up a Vikings player onto their team and allowing the good fortune that has been washing over Vikings to join them as well. Moving on to
Valhalla is smiling down upon them.
Oh, for sure. Moving on to Silent but Deadly's standard recipe that gave us a solid match. We had comeback caps, sneaky cap attempts, lots of murder, lots of nades. And the first map, Subway, went really quick. I don't think either team wanted to be there, so, I mean, who can blame them? It is Subway. They sped through it in under 25 minutes.
Yeah, the first map was pretty intense. And then we're going to see from some close C4 detonations to nades running along walls. GMen does eventually take two with a grenade. And yeah, there's the grenade that's running along the walls there. Vortex picking up one. There it is. It's going to bounce. It's going to get a nice bounce behind him. And then, yes, Biggie Smalls with two downs with his frag grenade on the south side of the objective. Next, we're going to see a nice, juicy nade from the man. This is in the Silent but Deadly. This is on Downfall. This was a tough map for Silent but Deadly. They really had to fight for this one. But a beautiful grenade comes up and over the red truck in the southwest and picks up a member of Silent but Deadly. And just beautiful. In our next clip, this is the round saver, the map saver for Silent but Deadly. 35 here. He's going to manage to make his way right past the man who you can see just off the right of your screen coming in from the center hotel. Dr. Leo Marvin's going to pick up Dr. Sean. 35 is going to pick up Dr. Leo Marvin in the crater room. Now he's inside on the objective, and the man who was just recently aggressively pursuing him is cut off, and now it's just 35 all alone on the objective, and with just 11 seconds left, he secures the cap to get a map 2 comeback and takes us to 3 for the series decider. And then for the last clip of the match, the 18-second round that's going to win GMen the series overall. Here we go. It's 3-1 already for GMen. Nice grenade comes in, or I'm sorry, no, those are all kills, and it's just pouring out. It's almost like Silent but Deadly just walked out in the open and said, you know what, just shoot me already. The man finally picking up the last kill onto Bear Grylls, and as you can see there, just 18 seconds in, GMen able to secure that final round.
You know, Silent but Deadly put up a really good fight. I mean, they were playing GMen, and they were able to take Downfall daytime 4-3, but ultimately GMen wins the series 11-5, which, you know, no offense, is not really much of a shock. I mean, they are the GMen. I mean, they have a player on the team that looks just like the logo.
That is very true.
Moving on, oh man, Animal House versus Danglers. Animal House almost took down Danglers, and it was super close on Bazaar. It was casted, but we really didn't get any clips submitted. All we have is a couple of them that Triple Nipple was able to find for us to show off a couple of little happenings.
Absolutely. So our first one, it's going to take place on Quarantine. This will be the first map, Quarantine Day. Danglers will take it 4-1, but here's just an impressive round that should have just not worked for any reason, and here's why. As you can see, the Danglers are going 5 men deep just right down the South Street. No cover, no seeking any sort of protection. I mean, the disrespect, they've already picked up 1. No, they've actually picked up 2 by this point, firing through the smoke on the South Cross. Riboman actually going to get a nice grenade, I think, onto Will-o'-the-Wisp.
Down.
Now, here we go. They're pushing still straight up the middle. No questions asked. No hesitation whatsoever. We will see a grenade actually here in just a moment. There it comes from Animal House, which is it's pretty debatable as to whether or not it should have gotten Stumpy Nub or the rest of the members there on that southern side of the push. But anyways, it does not. They're going to push in hard and fast. They'll take down F. Lipinski on the objective, and Danglers will lose a zero members as they take a 52-second round on Quarantine 1. Then finally, our last video comes to the aid of Animal House. We see what appears to be Danglers dominating the downstairs objective, with Plenus just screaming bing bong, bing bong the whole time in our clip. You unfortunately can't hear that. Well, unfortunately is probably too strong a word. Probably fortunately. Anyways, Plenus is going to go in. He's going to get a nice kill there with the shield, but he's not paying attention. His situational awareness has just fallen apart, and F. Lipinski will run around and stick a knife right into the back of Plenus.
Yes, Danglers ultimately win the series 11-6. For those of you who did see the scores before they got updated, the scoreline is different than what the cache read, and that's because a few rounds on Tanker were soiled with some early flashes and nades. Now, that's a tough break, but the rules are the rules. Initially, when we saw this, I think we had a 8-9 victory going to the Danglers, so just picking up a couple extra points there on Tanker. It is what it is. The rules are it can't explode before 5:45 on the clock on the smaller maps. So we don't have a way yet to enforce that game side. So just remember, read your rule book. Moving on as fast as we can. Wait, go ahead.
To be fair, it was said that it's possible that maybe after the Danglers secured that we're able to secure the first 2 maps, that the people with the early nades, maybe they just lost track of what was going on. They are a great team, and they are really good about following the rules normally. So it's nothing to say that Animal House are a bunch of scoundrels.
I love those guys, though.
Scroungy scoundrels or anything.
They're entertaining.
Like they're a great bunch of guys. I love every single one of them. Their team captain, Silent Knight, is probably one of my greatest friends in the VRML, and he's a great guy, as is Steven and Willow. All those, but yeah, I mean, rules are rules, and they must be enforced. And unfortunately, we did have cast evidence.
Well,
maybe you don't always want your games cast. I don't know.
on that note, let's move into the next match. It's a classic high tier EU matchup as Boss Fight and Lemon Squad squared off. Those pesky Lemons wanted this one pretty bad, and it got real close. They just couldn't quite seal the deal.
Almost there, Lemons. Anyways, in our first clip, Scooby Doo, aka Scooby Who, gets confused about who's friendly and who isn't. And so does Caltrop, however. Scooby Doo going to pick up Senior Sanchez. Caltrop going to find Scooby Doo. Senior Sanchez picks up Lego and then does finish him off. But man, Scooby Doo he's going to have to pay a bit of attention there. Make sure he is killing those who are deserved of being killed. Scorpio now picking up the kill on the Senior Sanchez. Finally, in our next clip, we're going to see old Shieldtrop getting a nice knife kill here onto Lego. Here he comes. He's pushing up hard. He's going in, and there it is. He does get the knife onto Lego, and I'm sure Lego is not happy about that.
That's a bit of a dunk, yes.
Caltrop, once again, is going to be coming in here with a disgusting thrown C4, and it's going to take down an approaching shield user and then die to a well-placed double nade. Now, and so many clips from this match. It's unbelievable. Super smooth grenade here going to come out from Guika. Here it comes. He's winding up. And the pitch. And that grenade's going to go off, sending Scooby Doo flying into space. He will be the first VR Master League member to be officially sent into space.
Oh, yes, the space program's taken off.
Absolutely. Now, for our next one, we're just going to let the audio do the talking here, but Caltrop's going to start a misinformation campaign against Weather Balloon, and they get a nice insta-kill nade onto Hoochie, so please enjoy.
Like a fool when my team comes rolling in with everybody still alive.
A minute 30 left.
Not be alive.
Caltrop on his misinformation campaign.
And then we'll see who's alive. And it'll be me.
Minute 20 left.
You, that's what I say.
Ooh, is that gonna get him? It is. Oh, Hoochie's down. Insta kill with the nade.
Oh, that was brutal.
Caltrop only having a taser though. Has to get weather
I must
balloon.
say, Caltrop has to be one of the biggest trolls in the registered members of the VR Master League.
He's got skills to back it up, though.
He does. I agree. He does have the skills
54
to back
seconds
it up.
left.
But overall, he's a really fun guy, and while he's a bit younger, I enjoy his company. I was tickled a bit at a few of the things that he did and said over in ESL over in Leicester last year. So kudos to you.
Well, what's his name? Steven also has a bit of a mouth on him and a bit of a reputation, but I mean, it's fun too. It's entertaining.
This is a little bit more dirty, though. You know what I mean? Like.
I like a dirty
needs a few
mouth.
alcohol swabs to clean up.
Boss Fight ultimately wins that series 11-8, and it seems like Lemon Squad prefers mid-sized maps when taking on Boss Fight. Do you have any opinion on that?
I haven't actually had the privilege of casting many EU matches this season, Poonanner, so I'm not really going to say anything on that. But maybe that's what works for them against Boss Fight. Maybe that's what they need to focus on.
Well, they didn't do well on Subway, right? And then they didn't do well on Downfall. So, like the tiny maps versus the large maps, not so much. But Suburbia Day, it worked out for them.
Yeah. I mean, 4-2, not a bad scoreline either. Definitely no 4-0. But yeah, I mean, they could have done more to keep it close. But I'd say, maybe stay away from the big maps against Boss Fight. Boss Fight has had a lot of training in those, especially against teams like Beginners, where that stuff is really like ground in.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best to take them on smaller maps. Maybe you should try, Cargo, Tanker, and Suburbia.
Exactly. So, Burning Crow had a date with the Colettos, but it didn't go as planned. Our high-heeled murder machines did manage to deliver some daring knife kills with a side of interesting nades.
Absolutely. And one of my personal favorite sweethearts, the Pink Stingray, gonna get an awesome knife kill there onto Bobby.
She said she dropped her gun, and he believed her.
Absolutely. Yep. She tricked him so hard. That is one of the funniest plays I've seen this season, just to get the knife play. Awesome job, Pink Stingray. Then we're gonna see a grenade that's somehow gonna fall into the tunnel on Cargo. Something thought impossible before this, but this is going to be Buxton's hashtag controversial nade of the week.
Well, if you find the right seam, right?
Apparently so. Those two cargo containers butted up against each other. Must have the tiniest little gap in Collider, because it did manage to squeeze. You can see our cameraman, Triple Nipple, who casted that match, trying to find where the gap is for the grenade. But
he's like, where did this grenade go? I can't tell. Burning Chrome ultimately win the series 12-2, which for the entire season, I believe that makes the Colettos getting one win. This is their very first season, though, so getting one win in your very first season in professional play is incredibly impressive. We expected them not to get one, as we expect from most of our rookie teams that have rookie players. Although I do believe they played with Trip, or was that during VRL? I can't remember, but
that's VR League.
Oh, okay.
Trip, our producer director does help them out with their VR League team 60%, because that's 60% of the Colettos. So he does help out there. But no, with VRML, it is 95% women with just one male member on the team who just is a good fit for the team. So they were like, you know what, we'll break our mantra of ladies only.
Well, let's take a look at the standings while we've got time. Let's see what is going on there. Beginners at the top with their single win over Lobo in the Button Cup. Danglers putting the dangle on Animal House to seal the third place slot. And you have Lemon Squad still holding on to fourth, even with their lack of a win. Or did they win? I don't remember. But Blaze.
Well, they did get a 15-0 forfeit from, I believe it was French Onward Union the week before because of some scheduling issues. So,
which is too bad for French Onward Union because they're doing so well.
And it is, but I mean, you can see they're there, 9th place, still in the top 10. They didn't secure themselves any spot into the automatic buys into the round robin, or not the round robin, but the Group A and Group B stages of the VRML championships. But they're high seeded in the wild cards, the Challenger Cups that'll be coming up.
Yeah, we've got to get some like graphics and videos and stuff like that to hype that one up. If any of you guys want to have some hype for the matches that are going to come up, especially the wild card, championship, everything, if you want us to throw it up on the big screens behind us as we talk about it, send it our way. This is a community project. We're willing to work with anybody and include you if you want to be part of what we're doing here. Moving on to some more standings, though, let's take a look at what happened at the EU, the final EU Cup, right? Is this the final one, or do we have another one? No one knows what's going on in VRL, but I think this is the final Regulation Cup.
I'm not even sure VRL knows what's going on in VRL.
That's fair. That's fair. Beginners actually going 4-0. No surprise there. Boss Fight going 3-1. And then Vikings actually pulling on to that third place slot. Not all that surprising. Buxton playing with his boy Caltrop in Article 13. That's the real story there. Moving on to the North American standings from the final-ish cup. SMC Tactical actually comes out on top over Globochem. That's a surprise there. It's entirely possible. We'll have to check Globochem. That Globochem was playing just all reservists this time around. I don't know. Rome holding on to third and Blaze pulling up fourth. Going after that money. We did say before that Globochem has already qualified for the finals with the points that they posted up, so it could be that they were sort of half-heartedly playing for the cash. We're not entirely sure. Cash Grab 2019 is the hashtag for this season, right?
Yeah, it is. At least for some teams in the VR League, absolutely. I mean, we even have one literally called Cash Grab.
Yes.
If I do remember
there's a few Cash Grab teams. It's great.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, hey, if the participation's low and you can play the game and be competitive, then why not? I mean, there's plenty of space in the VR League. That is for sure. But you know what? To speak on the Globochem thing, though, I really don't... Since I know Globochem pretty closely, right? I know a lot of their guys. I've played a lot of hours with them in lobbies. I've met them a few times at various LAN events. And, of course, I'm very close with them in DMs and talking about things going on, bouncing ideas off of them for future seasons and things like that. I wouldn't say that they're playing their reservists or even playing half-heartedly in these matches. I think, with the way the VR League tournaments work, playing
it's very
one
short
map
rounds
against a team, you just happen to get that map that you are better on, then yeah, I mean, teams like SMC, like Animal House, like Vikings, like French Onward Union, some of those underdogs will totally win maps against teams like Beginners and Globochem and stuff like that.
It's all said and just to give them excuses, though. That's all it is. None of it's meant for real.
Of course, sure.
Well, on that note, we are out of alcohol, so that is it for us. Thanks to all our players and viewers for supporting the show. Show us some love in the comments to get a conversation going, as this helps the show rank up and get more exposure to people that don't know about the league.
That's right. If I can finish my mouth full of whiskey, keep those clips coming, folks. Even if your game isn't cast, please send us those clips from your first-person point of view. As you can see, we don't mind using those in our show. Again, it's a community project, so feel free to add to the community.
Again, I am Poonanders, joined by VRML mod, caster, and former Dangler, Sleepy.
That's right, and this show is brought to you by VRespawn.com, your one and only source for VR esports news. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date.
This episode was written by Buxton with the help of all of our team captains, putting their Twitch clips and their descriptions on VRMasterLeague.com. All praise unto Buxton, who suffers at the keyboard so we don't have to. Triple Nipple, as always, is our outstanding director. Our entire show, the last several shows actually, has been produced by a special piece of software written by Chris A. Brown, listed there with a picture of his baby. We actually share a nanny. He's a good guy. Send us home, Sleepy.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, of course, hit those bells on all those channels so you know that our next video has gone live. We appreciate everyone coming out and checking out the videos. And, as always, we'll see you next week, everybody. Good night.